Hey, Ambitchious. Welcome to the second installment of our Vision Vibration Board workshop. This is so exciting. I had the best feedback from everything that we did last week. So many of you guys have been inboxing me on the app and just thanking me and just saying how much that this has inspired them to take some serious action and make 2022 their bitch. That's what I'm all about. I'm making 2022 my bitch. Like, I don't care. Like, no more excuses, no more distractions. Time to go to the next level. Okay. So first, what I always like to do is I like to call in our power posse, because when more than one person gets together with a bunch of other strong ass bitches and we put our energies together, we can create some incredible magic. So before we start, I want us all just to take a moment and let's call in our power posse so that we can really work with the divine energies from the universe. And then we're going to get to work, because you want a hot body, you want a Maserati, you want a Bugatti, you got to work, bitch. Okay. Okay. So if you're driving, don't do this, obviously, but if you're sitting down, let's all close our eyes and let's bring our hands into heart center, into prayer posture. So no matter where you are, and I have women from all over the world here today, so thank you for joining. I appreciate you. And I'm very grateful for you. But let's take our hands into heart center, into prayer posture, and let's just sync up our breath together, okay? So let's get our breath and our energetic vibrational frequencies all just gelling and vibing. So let's take a nice deep breath in through our noses, filling up our lungs all the way to the tippity top. And then exhale any resistance, any not enoughness, any unworthiness. And let's take another nice deep breath in through our noses, filling up our lungs. And again, just as you exhale, just exhale anything that's no longer serving your highest, greatest good. Just let it all out, blow it out all the way through your mouth, every last drop of air in your lungs. And last, biggest, deepest breath in through your nose, filling up those lungs. And anything that's keeping you from the next level of you and your evolution, just let it all out with your breath. Keeping your eyes closed and keeping your hands in a prayer posture. Just going to call in our power posse to help aid us in some really amazing evolution today. God, Goddess, universal life force energy. All of our guardians and our guides and our loved ones who are no longer here on this three-dimensional earth plane. And all of our ancestors who came before us and who paid it forward so that we may live life ambitiously. Surround us and fill up our vessels with your light and your love and your ancient wisdom. Help each and every one of us today get so clear cut on our goals, so concise in our clarity of our desires and our dreams and our aspirations, and help us vibrate at such a high vibrational frequency that we manifest and attain these goals, dreams, and aspirations quicker than we ever thought possible. And I thank you in advance. And so it is. And when you're ready, you could open up your eyes. Oh, that felt good. Didn't that feel good? That felt good. Okay. Before we begin, let's just do a little check-in from last week. So many people said that if they didn't make it live, they watched the replay, and they're like, so many amazing things happened after our first installment of this class. So if anything that happened to you amazing, or you grew some big ass hairy balls and you just were like, I'm not doing this, I'm not taking this anymore, I'm going to the next level, enough is enough, just write in the chat what you experienced, or maybe you had some aha moments or some light bulb moments, or maybe like you thought you wanted goals and then you had that last week's conversation with me and you were just like, you know what? The things that I thought I wanted, like, I don't want those things. It actually is someone else's dream. It's someone else's blueprint. Like maybe some of y'all have been like watching other people's social media and you're like, damn, I would like that, or I want a man like that, or I would like a book deal, or I want to be a coach like that, or I want a wardrobe like that, or I want a house like that. And then you really started thinking like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm following someone else's life contract. Maybe I'm following someone else's blueprint. So if you had any of those light bulb moments, please feel free just in the chat, just to like type out what you experienced, or maybe, you know, you had this like aha moment or this huge awakening. I would love, love, love to hear it. Okay, let's go to the chat. Yes, Lindsay Queen. I finally quit my job of 9 years. Woo! Yes. I desire more time for me and my daughter. Desire to be respected and valued at work. On to the next. Aye, Captain. I'm so proud of you. I'm so, so, so proud of you. You have no idea. That's huge. That's massively huge. I'm so proud of you. Everyone's giving you clapping hands. Everyone's supporting you. I love it. Yeah, that's pretty ballsy. You know, it's a pretty ballsy thing to do. But anytime that you're staying in a job that you don't feel respected, that you don't feel like you're living in your purpose, like you're actually blocking your blessings. I'm not saying this just to Lindsay. I'm saying this to anybody on here that's doing things that don't align and resonate with their soul's desires. Okay. Just because it looks really cute on someone else's Instagram or someone else's Facebook feed does not mean that that shit is for you. And I can tell you, because I've been a coach and a mentor for over 20 years, and I can't tell you how many times I've looked at other people in my space and saw what they were doing and tried to like do exactly what they were doing, and it bites you in the ass every time. And that's when you feel like a fraud, and that's when you feel like a phony, and that's when you get that like real big time imposter syndrome, because you're not following the blueprint that God printed for your life. You're following someone else's life contract, and that's always going to be a problem. Always. Kelly says, having the 6 life makers and breakers really helped me to focus on goals from the other areas, right? Like when you really say, okay, like, what do I desire in my spiritual life? What do I desire in my health? What do I desire with my relationships and my boundaries and my environment and my money? And you break it down in that way, it's just so much easier to manifest and to create and then to curate the life that you desire, right? I'm loving that you're loving that. Kim says, the group energy of women ready to make 2022 their bitch has me motivated in a way that I haven't felt in a while. Thanks for being here, ladies. I feel that too. I feel like this is electric energy. I feel like everybody here is truly here for the right reasons. And I'm telling you guys, this is going to be like 2022 is going to be like above and beyond. You are going to create the life of your dreams. But it's like a math equation, right? 1 + 1 = 2. All you have to do is follow the tools and the principles that I put out in Ambitchious, the podcast and the book and my programs and all the things that I do and how I show up. And I promise you, you will have the life of your dreams. It's just follow the equation, right? I'm here for that, Kim. I feel the energy too. Kelly saying it's been percolating in my brain since last week. I love it. I love it. So feel free as I'm going on with the conversation, just to, put more aha moments. And if things come up or you have questions, feel free to post them in the chat as well. I'm really good at DJing. I'm a good multitasker. Kathleen says, it's such a weird feeling about 2022. It's bigger than ever for change. Yes. And the year 2022, like the veil is fully lifting in 2022. Like there is no more 4th dimensional bridge. You're either here in the 3rd dimension and you're a slave to the matrix, or you're in the 5th dimension and higher vibrational frequency, and you are your own goddess. You are living life on your own terms, period. I promise you. No more matrix. The matrix, right, Kim? It's like enough with the matrix. It's like boring, like enough. And, there are going to be people who you love deeply that are going to stay in that matrix, and it's okay. And that's okay. You can allow them to do it because you have no, you have no power over them. You just have to be the lighthouse. You just have to shine your light from those higher frequencies of dimension. And that's all you can do. I always tell people, you can't help others out of the shit pit. They have to want to get out of the shit pit on their own. They have to. You can't pull them out, because I promise you, every time they will pull you back down in the shit pit, you will never pull them out. I promise. Right? It's like the crabs in a bucket mentality, right? Okay. So feel free to keep going on in the chat. Yeah, we don't dangle, Jess. We don't dangle anybody, right? People got to stand on their own 2 feet. Absolutely. I knew what you meant. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the top 10 ways that I use to achieve any goals. So feel free, if you're not driving, to get out a notebook or a journal or have a piece of paper and get your writing utensils, because this is going to be a lot of information. And just remember, if you have to get off for any, reason, we always share this on our app. Okay. So if you can't make the whole thing live, we always will share the replay on our app. Okay. Number 1. And some of you guys already have done this because you've worked with me, one-on-one, you've worked with me as mentors, you've worked with me in different programs, different protocols. So a lot of you guys have done this, but a lot of you guys maybe only have read the book and not have done this. And some of you guys have never read Ambitchious, the book, and you have never done this. So some of you, it's going to be a lot of new information. But no matter where you are in this equation, this is the number one most important thing that each and every one of us, including myself, has to do to achieve their goals, dreams, and aspirations. So the number one thing is creating an ambitious abundance affirmation. Creating an ambitious abundance affirmation. At the end of the top 10 things, I'm going to actually walk you through how to do this if you haven't done it. If you already have done it, it might be a good little kind of like brush up. Because I have a lot of people who do it with me. And then they say to me, Katie, I don't know why my life is a big fucking baby diaper full of diarrhea. And then you know what I say to them? I go, are you saying your ambitious abundance affirmation every day? No. Okay, bitch. Well, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Okay. That's the number one thing when you work with me. Ambitious abundance affirmation. We say it every morning as part of our rituals. And we say it right before we go to bed, because right before you go into dream time, remember, when you're sleeping, you are still doing work. When you're sleeping, your soul is astrally projecting to higher dimensions of frequency. When your soul astrally projects to higher dimensions of frequency, the amount of things that you can manifest in your sleep is incredible. Don't think you're just like catching up on your beauty sleep. No, you are doing spiritual work when you're sleeping. So the number one thing is, and we're going to get into this later on, is to create your ambitious abundance affirmation and say it first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed at night. So that's number 1. And like I said, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. Let me just go back to my chat. Kathleen says, read the book. It's a pretty good book, I'm not going to lie. Kayla says, I literally redid mine this morning. Kayla, thank you so much too for posting on Instagram about how you're rereading my book. Like I saw that today and I was like, thank you. Like that makes my heart sing. I worked so hard on writing that damn book, and to know that people are actually really like reading it and getting what I know is in there out of it is like just so rewarding. So thank you. And I'm glad you redid yours. I redo mine probably once every year to 6 months to a year. I always redo mine, because remember too, how last week we talked about your human design. I'm a manifesting generator. So in human design, a manifesting generator, like what worked for me yesterday might not work for me today. And I change my mood and what I desire really quickly. And that's just who I am. So when I first did my ambitious abundance affirmation years ago, it's not even anywhere close to what it is now. So changing yours all the time is really, really cool. But you just have to use the guidelines in the book to actually, write your ambitious abundance affirmation. Kim saying, I say mine every morning. Yes, because you're a good doobie and you know what's up. And that's why you're living your best life, because you're actually taking the tools and the principles and you're putting them into play every day. You know, everything that you need in life is in my book, is in my programs, is in my podcast. And when people come to me and they're like, I don't know why my life sucks. And I'm literally like, because you're not following the rules. Like, it's a universal law. Like, all the things that I teach you guys are universal law. They're Stoic philosophy. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just packaging it up in a way that all of you guys can like have a good laugh while you're learning, right? Kathleen says, oh my God, Katie, I read it every day until a month ago. That's my issue. Thanks. Back on it. Maybe I needed a break to update my affirmation. And sometimes you do, but a lot of times it's the devil. A lot of times it's enemy energy. When you stop doing your rituals in the morning, when you stop eating a certain way, when you stop doing your affirmations, when you stop doing your blessings, when you stop doing all these things, it's enemy energy. Like Satan has seeped in, whatever you want to call it. And he's like, oh, I want to throw this bitch off the wagon because then I'll have, one more drifter. No, we don't drift. But I'm glad that you outed yourself, and that's cool to own that shit. That's what leaders do. They own their shit, right? Kim says, oh, dang, I have never said mine before bed. Yeah, I'm obviously, a big thing is first thing in the morning because it sets your day up for success. It sets the intentions for the day, but right before bed is also a really amazing time to say it. Actually, Matt and I say ours together at night before we go to bed. I know, it's so weird, but here we are. Jacinta says, I'm wicked excited. I just received my book today. Awesome. I love that you received your book today. Did you get my little gift in there too? Awesome. I love it. Joe says, I'm ready to redo my ambitious affirmation. I love it. Do it, girl. Sit down and do it. Olivia says, got the book right beside me. Love it. It's good stuff right here. A lot of nuggets, a lot of nuggets in here. So Maria's saying, how do you find out what your human design you are? So I actually posted human design on our app. It's on the main page, but if you want to, you can just Google human design calculator. And all you have to do is you have to know exactly where you were born. So the city that you were born and the exact time of day. So it can't be like, oh, I was born at noon. No, it has to be like 12:23 p.m. Okay. And if you have those two things, you can do your human design. Jess says, you can get your chart with your place and time of birth. Exactly. Kelly says, I was looking at mine the other day and realized that it's coming true. So the human design chart was actually channeled, I think like in 1980 something, by this like random dude. Like God just came down and like gave him all this information. And if you really like get into human design, it's so freaking spot on. It's like scary. It's like weird. I know Joanne's hair does look amazing. She's my little phoenix. Kath says, oh my God, it issues. That's why I spoke 3 places in a row and I got off my rituals. I started eating bad. Dang. Satan. It's enemy fucking energy. I am redoing my ambitious abundance affirmation. Enemy energy has been working overtime on me. So if you guys don't know what enemy energy we're talking about, if you haven't already listened to or read the book by Napoleon Hill, it's called Outwitting the Devil. And it's one of my favorite books in the whole entire world. And when you're a light worker, when you are someone who is here and your soul chose to be here on this earth to help transition and serve and give value, the devil or enemy energy or whatever is like, it like wants to fucking derail your shit. Because the more people who are in what we call hypnotic rhythm, right? Doing the same thing every day, calling it a life. That's not a life. It's not a life. I'm sorry to say, if you're living in Groundhog Day, if you're not in the world, in the place that you would like desire to be, you're not living life the way that God intended you to live, right? So listen to that book. You can, we can share it on the app, but also it's free on YouTube. It's a 3 hour and 41 minute book. And it was written in 1937. And that book was literally written for this day right now. Anybody who's ever listened to this book will attest to that. So that's what we're talking about, enemy energy. If you keep seeing people talk about dangling and enemy energy and all these like little buzzwords, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about that book, Outwitting the Devil. Kim says, I was Googling after last week's call. Someone suggested if you don't have your time of birth to do 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. and see what it's closest to. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Oh, sorry, Cal. It was my ambitious abundance affirmation that's coming true. Oh, absolutely. Every one of mine have come true. That's why it's so important to do it. What about gene keys? Any thoughts? I have no idea what that is. If someone would like to educate me on that, I would love to know. I don't know what that is. Joe says, knowing I am a manifesting generator helped me so much. It makes so much sense. And it gave me the opportunity to breathe and just be like, phew, I'm not flaky. I just can't stick to one thing. You're not meant to. When you're a manifesting generator, you're a multi-passionate person. You can't just do like one thing every day. It's just like, it will drive you to drink. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm a manifesting generator too. Like I have to be doing all kinds of different things. And then like when I'm done with it, like I'm done with it. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. We're done. We're done. Olivia says, I literally keep 3 copies on hand of Outwitting the Devil in case I need to give it to a drifter. That's really generous. Even though when you give it to a drifter, they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm okay. Because drifters don't know that they're drifters. That's the fucked up part, you know? I shouldn't say that because I have a lot of people who were drifters and that started reading Outwitting the Devil and they're just like, fuck, I'm a drifter. Like I need to work on my shit. So that's really generous of you. Kelly Gallagher says, Kim, I have called the city clerk to get the exact time for my birth certificate because my parents can't remember. Oh my God. My mother, it took her like, she had to go through all my baby books and find my shit too. Oh, Kate is a projector. How interesting. So is Kathleen Ramsey. We just had an amazing projector call today. Brittany says, mine is an orchestrator or a projector. Wow, that's really interesting too. Projectors are very much like, they have to come from a place of knowing when to push and knowing when to take a rest. You guys burn yourself out really quickly trying to do too much. You have to be very clear cut and concise, and you have to take your time and you have to do things that make you feel full. Because if they are not, it's bad. Rita Roloff, Kim Fox is also a generator. Generators are my jam. Generators and manifesting generators together make really good teams. Lori's a projector too. How interesting. That is so freaking cool. Kayla goes, I was low-key trying to tell my husband he is a drifter. Sometimes my husband's a drifter too. I was just telling the girls on my 6 o'clock call that Matt was being such a drifter last week that I just like flipped the fuck out and I shook him by his shirt. Like I took him by the collar and I just shook him around in my, I'm so mean. Oh my God, please don't call 911. But I shook him around like a little fucking prick and I ripped his shirt off of him. Like I ripped the whole shirt like right off of his body. And I hated that shirt. And I was so excited when I threw it in the trash. So sometimes you got to shake a drifter. You just got to shake them until their shirt rips off their body. And listen, I could be a drifter too sometimes, but like when you are in this energy of being like ambitious and you cannot be around drifters. You can't, it like will literally, it's like a hot poker up your ass. It's so annoying and it's painful. So sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. Oh my God. Jess goes, oh my God, Kayla, how did he take that? I want to know. Kim goes, I'm proud of you for having that conversation, Kayla. Me too, because it's not easy. Can't wait to find out what I am. It's Maria, when you do, it's going to feel so good. You're going to be like, oh, I'm not a crazy bitch. Like, well, you probably are a crazy bitch, but like, you know what I mean? Like everybody here is a crazy bitch. If you're hanging out with me, you're a little wacko. Okay. Let's be honest. Oh my God. Katie, Chris is a generator. That's why you guys do so well together. So my husband was adopted when he was a baby. So at that time, like we don't know when his birth date is. And it's like so annoying to me because like, you know, I'm a witch and I need to find out like all of his astrological chart. I need to do his natal chart. I need to know his like what he is in human design. I have to know his like personality type and like it all needs that thing. So I just have to wing it with my husband. I have to just figure it out as we go. He is a Virgo, which is so annoying because he's so pragmatic and he's always like, okay, let's slow down and let's take our time. And I'm like, I'm an Aquarius. I don't even live on this planet with you peasants. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Shannon, you're a generator. I love generators. Sophia goes, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for the, oh girl, it was bad. Like sometimes I wish I could just set up cameras in my house just to like get these things. Cause honestly, it's like better than any reality television show at my house. I promise you. Probably why I had a reality television show. But I think that should keep going for in perpetuity. But I think I end up in like either a psych ward or jail. And honestly, like orange is not my color. It's just not. So let's keep myself out of incarceration. Jess goes, my husband is half woke and half drifter. Oh, the best combo. It's just too freaking frustrating, but I'm glad he's on the man bitches path. He is very man bitches. We love him. Joanne says, betcha Matt learned a lesson. Oh yeah, he did. He did. He knows. Like when the Portuguese fire happens, it's like, get out of my way. Like I will take your penis and I will snap it in half like a twig. And then I will flush it down the toilet. Like Lorena Bobbitt did a bad thing because she threw that shit out the window. You got to get rid of the evidence. You just flush it down the toilet. Can you just see me flushing my husband's penis down the toilet? If that ever happens, I swear to God, I will cut all you bitches if you tell on me. I will cut all of you. Kayla says, he took it well. He said he knows that he is. Oh my God, I love it. He's a woke drifter. I was trying to explain the hypnotic rhythm and how he needs to break out of it. And that's how I feel, Katie. I'm about to blow. I told him to listen to Outwitting the Devil on the way to work, but he definitely hasn't. So that's when I use the power of the pussy. That's what I do with my husband. You use the power of the pussy. When you want them to do something, you just say, you either do this or see that beautiful, delicious golden fleece vagina I have in my Ambitchious joggers. You ain't gonna get none of that. So you better listen to that shit lickety split, honey, because this pussy's on lockdown. This is why I'm not a therapist or a psychiatrist, because could you imagine if I was the 2 cents I would be giving my poor clients? They would be like, okay, that's very, very BF Skinner Freudian of you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Is that in the DSM-5? Jessica, same with Jason. He is adopted as well, and it's tough not knowing. Also a Virgo. Oh God, an adopted Virgo. Little fuckers. Like, I'm just like, enough with you. Enough. Jen's a projector. Wow, there's a lot of projectors. Kayla saying, Jess, that's how mine is. He's awake, but he needs to take action. And remember, when people, and this obviously has to do with what we're talking about right now, when you don't take action, it's out of fear. So what is he afraid of, Kay? That's what I want to know. Maybe ask him, because when you peel the onion, there's only 2 truths to the world. It's love and fear. So anything that is happening in someone's life that isn't like of the highest degree of vibrational frequency, it's always coming from a place of fear. So like, what is he afraid of? Okay. Let me take a sip of my water and then we're going to move on. I'm so excited that all of you guys took that pussy power advice. Not my finest moment in advice giving, but here we are. Hope I made you laugh. All right. Number 2, top 10 of the top 10 ways how to achieve your goals is act as if you already are and you already have those achievements. So I think I had spoken about this maybe last week. If I didn't say it to you, I was saying it to someone I was talking to, but I was watching this like random thing on Netflix, and it was like Ronald Reagan, and all these people were being interviewed that were like close to Ronald Reagan when he was president of the United States back in the 80s. And he was like, they all said the exact same thing. Like before Ronald Reagan became president, he always acted as if he was already the president. He held himself in a certain way. He spoke in a certain way. He dressed a certain way. He like just his whole demeanor, his whole energy was presidential. Okay. That's how you have to act. So whatever you desire in life, whether it's to get healthy, whether it's to have more wealth and abundance, whether it's to find the significant other of your dreams, whether it is to take your business to the next level, it does not matter what it is. You have to act as if it's already happened. So you can't say to yourself, when I am 100 pounds like less weight than I am now, Then I'll start going out. Then I'll start wearing nice clothes. Then I'll start, walking, working out, eating healthy. Because how the hell are you ever supposed to get to that place if you haven't been doing that yet? So the number two thing is you have to act as if you already are and you already have attained those goals, achievements, aspirations. Okay. Now, that is a really difficult thing to do, especially if you feel like that is being an imposter. Because a lot of us, including myself, have dealt with in the past imposter syndrome, right? Who here has dealt with imposter syndrome? Like, they're going to find me out. They're never enough. I'm not worthy. Who am I to do this? Who am I to be this? Well, who are you not to be? Who are you not to be? That's the question, right? You are all a child of the Most High God. Your playing small isn't helping anybody, okay? So act as if you already are that person or have those things. And then what happens is, because it raises your vibrational frequency, and like attracts like. So if you're acting as if you are a 7-figure earner, you are going to attract opportunities from the ethers, from out there, that are going to bring you those 7 figures, if that's something that you desire, right? The next thing is number 3. You have to pray and you have to meditate daily, and you have to demand and not beg for the things that you desire. Okay, so you have to pray daily. You have to meditate daily. Those are both spiritual practices that, and if you're not a meditator, I teach meditation in my programs. Meditation is a form of prayer. I actually think in a lot of ways, meditation is, and a lot of like people here who are very religious, like might be like, that's blasphemy. But I think, I know firsthand for me that it's true, because mostly when people pray, because none of us were ever taught how to pray correctly. Because most people, what do they do when they pray, right? All my little good Catholics and my little good Christian girls here, right? What do? You go, God, please, if you give me this thing, I swear, I promise I won't swear anymore. I won't eat that thing. I won't do that thing, right? No. But when you meditate, you demand, because it's an energetic vibrational frequency. The best, most biggest things in my life, money making, business, whatever, the ideas have always come to me in my meditation. And think about it. When you pray, you speak to God, but when you meditate, God can speak to you. And that, in my opinion, is more powerful. So I pray every day. I pray the rosary. I know you would never think of it. I swear like a truck driver. I'm the worst, but I love baby Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt. And I love praying the rosary. So I pray the rosary every day. And I meditate twice a day, every day. Now, you don't have to do it twice a day. I do it because that's just part of who I am. And I've been doing it for a really long time. But even if you were to meditate once a day, and I teach transcendental meditation, but I also love guided meditation. Sometimes just putting on music and letting your mind just clean itself out and brain dump. All of those things help. But if you are sitting in your prayer and you are begging God or whatever, universe, whatever you believe in, to do something for you, like that, is that a high vibration or is it a low vibration? Low, right? So you have to demand what you desire. And part of that is doing your ambitious abundance affirmation every day. But when you're meditating, you manifest quickly. And part of that also, and this is also part of our rituals that all the women that I coach in Ambitchious do every day, is setting your intentions for the day. When you wake up in the morning and you do your ambitious abundance affirmation and you do your blessing and you do your meditation and your rituals and you set your intentions for the day and you say, my intentions for the day, like for me today, like I do my mentorship calls on Wednesdays. I do all my one-on-one calls with all my one-on-one clients, right? So I do that on Mondays and Wednesdays. And in the morning when I wake up, I say, God, help me help as many people today in whatever they're desiring. help me be a great role model, help me be an amazing guide, help me help the more and more and more people awaken to live life ambitiously. Obviously, every day my intentions are different, but praying and meditating, demanding, not begging, and setting your intentions all kind of, in my opinion, go in that same thread. The fourth thing is, and this is really hard, but it's serious. Only surround yourself with like-minded people who lift you up, who are of your same vibrational frequency or higher. Because remember, you are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. Think of the 5 people right now that you surround yourself with the most. Think of those 5 people. Are those 5 people expanding you? Are they lifting you up? Are they helping you raise your vibrational frequency? Are they cheerleaders to you? Do they support your hopes, dreams, goals, and aspirations? Or are they naysayers? Right? You know, the part of the book where I say like the top 10 people to stay away from, those toxic people. Are they them, or are they of the highest vibrational frequency? Lori, that's why I don't do holidays. She goes, that's hard during the holidays with all the family gatherings. You ain't kidding, girl. You ain't kidding. This is the hardest time of year for most people, because a lot of people feel very obligated to be around people that maybe are not, they're the same vibrational frequency or higher than them. But remember, we can't choose our family, but we can choose our friends, and we can choose people that we surround ourselves with in other ways. So as you guys know, I don't participate. Like for Christmas, Matt and I are going away, and everybody knows, and no one even asks me about it anymore. They just know Katie goes away. She lives her best life. She gets a massage. She has her food. She like avoids that shit, because honestly, that's like a nightmare to me. Like, I like the holidays for what they are. I don't like all the obligatory stuff that a lot of people expect from us, right? Shannon goes, I avoid family at times because it won't serve me and my highest greatest good. Absolutely. Sometimes your family is the most poisonous, toxic of all the people. Like, and that's just, it's not being mean. It is what it is, right? Kim goes, your podcast today, the one Kim shared on the page, point on. Oh, absolutely. I got so much hate for that podcast. People were like, you're the meanest bitch in the world. I'm like, it is called the Ambitchious podcast, so thank you. Like, I don't take that offense to that. I'm like, oh, thank you. So only surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And if you can't do that all the time, be aware of it. Like when you're around people who are not your vibrational frequency, you have to protect yourself, right? Number 5 is eat high vibrational foods and fast and take your supplements. You know, I have a master's degree in nutrition. This is like one of my biggest fortes. If you ever work with me, if you ever do my programs, you know, like one of the biggest things that I talk about is, what are you putting into your body? What is the vibrational food of the food? What is the vibrational frequency of the food and the drinks that you're putting into your body? And are you supplementing, right? And are you fasting? And here's the deal. Fasting is not for weight loss. The byproduct for people who are overweight, you will lose weight from fasting, but fasting is about cleaning out your physical body, recalibrating your vibrational frequency. And I promise you, if you have never fasted and you end up fasting, you know, whether it's through a program with me or on your own, you become much more divinely aligned with source energy. Some of the biggest spiritual quantum leaps that I've ever had in my life, spiritually and energetically, have been when I've been fasting. And anyone here that's fasted, you can attest to that fasting is life changing. So watching what you're eating, watching your alcohol, watching your supplementation, and your fasting. Number 6 is be open to being coached. I have 5 coaches. I have a business coach. I have people who are teaching me like where to put my money, right? Investment coach. I have life coach. I have shamans. I have spiritual healers. It takes a village to raise a bitch. You know what I'm saying? but you have to be open to coaching. You have to be open to outside people guiding you, because if you knew how to get to that next level, you would already be there. So I always tell people, if you find someone who you aspire not to be, but to emulate, right? Like you love that person's energy, their charisma, their success, their mindset, where they are with their motivation, and they're a coach, they probably will coach you in some capacity. I don't care who you are, where you are, what your goals are. Everybody should have someone who is an unbiased person that they can bounce things off of, feelings, ideas, wishes, desires, that have already done what they desire to do. These people are expanders, because a lot of us, including myself, we have grown up in families and in situations where we have been around contractors and not expanders. Okay. You want to be around people who are going to expand you, who are going to make you feel that I can do anything. Because guess what? If like for me, if Katie Boyd did it and she came from where she came from, I can do it and more. But when you're around people who are contractors and no one is expanding you, it's really hard to get out of the quagmire. It's really hard to get out of the shit pit. So find someone that's going to expand you. Find someone that's going to coach you. Find someone that's going to help you on your healing journey. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Because I think like, so many people are just going along and doing, what they've always done. And like, is what you've always done going to get you to where you desire to go? No, probably not, right? The next thing is to number 7, stay focused, no distractions. I was just talking to my mentorship girls at 6 p.m. and I was talking about like what distracts them. Everyone was like social media, my phone, other people's problems, right? Social media, your phone, and other people's problems are never going to pay your bills. They're never going to get you to lose that last 50 pounds. They're never going to get you to leave that shitty dead end job that you're in. It's never going to get you to finally divorce your husband that you've, been abused by for 30 years. I mean, I've been a coach for over 20 years and I've seen it all. But when you were constantly distracted and we're like a squirrel, like all over the place all the time, you're always just like wasting time thinking that you have all this time and you don't. And I truly believe, and I said this before and I'll say it again, I truly believe that hell is meeting the person that you could have been if only you tried. And trying is getting rid of as many distractions as you can. One of my best friends, he's a gay makeup artist from Houston, Texas. And he always would say to me, because I would always get distracted and I would care what this person was saying about me and what this person was doing and all this shit. And he would say to me, Katie, if they're not feeding you, fucking you, or financing you, who gives a fuck? And I was like, touche, you're actually right. And even then, who cares, right? So really getting clear cut, concise, and finally focused, finely tuned, finally focused with no distractions on what is my purpose, what are my goals, and if things are coming at you that have nothing to do with where you desire to be and who you desire to be, fuck it, let it go. We got to surrender to this. If we have gotten bogged down since COVID started with so much bullshit and so much minutia, and none of it is helping us be better humans. Zero, right? Like Lori's saying, that's my issue. Everyone else's problems, family obligations throw off my rituals. And when we say the word obligation actually obligatory or obligated, it actually has a victim energy to it when we say the word obligation. Because remember, You're not obligated to do any of that, Lori. And I'm not just saying this for Lori. I know she's not the only one that thinks like this here, but you're not obligated to do any of that stuff. You're choosing to do that stuff with your family, right? And people can say to me, well, you don't understand. I gave up the holidays over 10 years ago and I've never looked back. And while everybody has the flu, while everybody is running around like a chicken with their head cut off, where everybody is just like so exhausted with all these obligations, I'm living my best life. And I'm starting the new year off on the right foot, refreshed and ready to take on what lies ahead. So we have to stop saying obligations. Right. I love that you just switched that up. I choose to do it because I have empathy and I try to do the right thing. But if the right thing is you not feeling your best self, is that really the right thing? That's the question you have to all ask yourself here. You know, I know Lori and I are having the conversation, but I know that a lot of you feel the same way. So is it the right thing if you don't feel good in the end? Like, ask yourself that question. And it's not just about the holidays, it's about anything. It's about anything that we're doing every day, because we're like, oh, well, I want to be a good mom, or I want to be a good wife, or I want to be a good friend or a good daughter. But at the end of the day, it's not, if it's not filling up your cup and it's not making you feel ambitious, is it really worth it? That's what you have to ask yourself, right, Jess? Ambitious boundaries. It's one of the 6 life makers and breakers, and it's that way for a reason, right? So I want to just read this, like, it's one of my favorite little quotes to kind of go. It's like a little poem by Les Brown. And it's one of my favorite things. And it goes along with what I just said about the staying focused and the no distraction. So I just want to read this, guys, for you. So this is by Les Brown. And he says, if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness, nor pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. It's one of my favorite poems. It's by Les Brown. You can find this, you can Google it, or you can actually listen to this on YouTube. He has like a ton of speeches where he says it. And I'm telling you, like, it's one of my favorite things. So stay focused, stay on task, and don't let anybody or anything pull you off that task. Kayla says, my friend asked if we should have a Christmas party. And I said no, with no explanation. And I was so proud of myself, right? Because what is it? No is a what? No is a complete sentence. Say it with me. Say it loud. Say it proud. No is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone a fucking explanation for why you don't want to go to their ugly sweater Christmas party. You don't. You really don't. And if you do feel the need to say sorry, or you do feel the need to give them an explanation, that is a self-worth problem. And that's something that we need to work on. And well done, Kayla. Everyone's giving you props for that, because it's hard. It's not easy to say no, especially to your friends who you love, right? Those are usually your chosen family. Number 8, exercise and train your body every day, even if it's just going for a walk out in the wilderness or in nature. Because remember, motion creates emotion. Motion creates emotion. You know, when you first start working out, when you first start doing yoga, when you first start like just moving your body, it sucks. It's so hard and no one wants to do it. If I could just take a pill and be svelte and have a 6-pack and be strong, I think we would all probably take it. But working out is so good for you. It's so good for your physical body, but even more importantly, it's so good for your energy, and it's so good for your brain and your mindset. I teach in my programs, I teach primal movements and I teach yoga and I teach all these different things, all these different ways, you know, to move your body. And so many people come to me and they'll just be like, I just feel so depressed. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I'll say to them, are you doing your yoga? No. Are you doing your primal movements? No. Are you getting your 10,000 steps a day? No. And then I'm like, well, what the fuck do you expect? Right? Motion creates emotion. So get your body moving. Get your body moving every day, even if it's for 30 minutes and you just take a walk around the block. Number 9 is only let inspirational stuff, inspirational content in and around you. Stop fucking watching mainstream news. I don't care if you're a Republican, if you're a liberal, if you're a fucking Marxist. I don't give a shit what the fuck you are. Stop. It's unhealthy. Stop the fucking madness. Fuck the news, Addie says. It's the worst. I have not watched the news. Like people will be like my mother said to me yesterday, did you see what's going on in such a, I go, Teresa, I don't watch the news. I don't care. Our brains were only made to know what's happening in our little, like our little lives and our little, 3x3. It's it. The fact that we know what's happening all over the world, it's so unhealthy for us. It's causing so much pain and so much fear. It is poison. Ellen said it. It's poison. So every day when I wake up, you will never see me go on my phone. You will never see me go on my phone. The first hour to 2 hours in the morning is for me. It's for my ambitious abundance affirmation. It's for my rituals. It is for my blessing. It's setting my intentions. It's listening to something inspirational. It's journaling. It is meditating. It's moving my body. That's it. And then after I'm done with all that and I filled up my cup, then I can go on the phone. Then I can go on the computer. Then I can go and do what I have to do. It's just not healthy, And so many people are like, I go, what do you first thing you do in the morning? I roll over and I look at my phone. Oh my God, just shoot me. No. And listen, my phone is my life. Like I use my phone to make money. I use my phone to, contact my clients, to go on my app, to do all these things. But guess what? If my cup is not full every day, how can I help you with you? How can I help coach you? How can I guide you? How can I mentor you? How can I inspire you? How can I motivate you if I'm just a broken down rag doll because I've been scrolling on TikTok all day? Like there was a time during the pandemic where I was like on TikTok and I would literally walk around and not everyone's going to know this. Only the youngins are going to know these things, but I would like walk around the house and I'd be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Like I would sing all the fucking TikTok music all day long. I would like talk in the TikTok language. Like it was so like fucked up. And I was like, oh my God, I am literally becoming a drifter. So I got off of TikTok. I stopped all social media for like a really long time because it was like warping my brain. Like if you're singing TikTok music all day, instead of like having real conversations with people, like something's going to stop. Right. So only letting inspirational stuff around you. And that might be like getting rid of people in your life that are maybe your friends or different family members that are toxic. All this is in my book. All this is in my programs. It's not that hard. It's just, it's, how can I put this? It's simple. Like the things that I teach you guys are really simple. It's just difficult to do because it might hurt other people. But like I say, who gives a fuck about hurting other people? If you're hurting yourself all day, every day, right? You are number one. You are number one. And everybody else falls. I don't care if it's your kids. I don't care if it's your husband. I don't care who it is. You are number one. And then everyone else comes after you. I can't stand when people send me clips from the news. Oh my God, I flip out on people. I said, please don't send this to me. I'm not on. Like my mom would always send me shit from Facebook. And I'm like, Teresa, I haven't been on Facebook for over a year. Why do I want to see this? Sorry. I'm like, oh my God. Like people just know. They don't do that to me. Like I just have such strict boundaries with people. They just know. Just know. Jess says, people always look at me like I'm crazy when I say I don't watch the news, but I always say that if something happens that is big deal, it will find out somehow. And guess what? If like, let's just say an asteroid right now is barreling towards Earth and is going to incinerate us all. Okay, what are you going to do? What are you, fucking Ben Affleck, and you're going to go ride on the meteor and go drop a bomb with Bruce Willis? It's not Armageddon, honey. If it's coming, it's coming. If it's our time to go, it's our time to go. And you watching the news and like knowing everything that's happening all around the world is not going to help you be a better person. It's just not. Kathleen says, my dad died 30 years ago and told me news are salesmen selling a lie. Don't waste your time. And I've never watched fake news way before it was known to be fake. And all fucking news is fake. It's whatever the narrative and the agenda of who is putting it out there wants you to know and think, period. I want to form my own opinions because that's what being ambitious is all about, is being a sovereign, autonomous human, period. Kayla says, oh my God, Katie, I did that and I had to delete it. I'm cracking up. Oh my God. You were doing the thing too with the TikTok? I'd be like, that's just my baby doggy. That's just my baby doggy. That's just my baby dog. Like Matt was like, you need medicine. Like it was so fucked up. It's not good. It's not good. Oh my God. TikTok is so addictive. Have you guys ever watch the show on Netflix called The Social Dilemma? If you haven't watched it, watch it. It will make you never want to. That is why I left social media and I started my own app. I can't. And I got so much hate for that. You have no idea the people that fucked with me about leaving Facebook. And like, honestly, on Instagram, I use it just to like say, hey, come over to my app. And guess what? If Instagram goes, I don't care because I have you guys on my app, so it doesn't matter to me. TikTok is so addictive. I'm being a drifter. You're not being a drifter, but at least you know it's addictive, and that's like the battle. That's winning the battle. Kathleen says, I have friends who are in news left and said it literally is story selling, not real. Oh my God. I have so many friends who are newscasters and they're just like, I have to say this. Like, it's not okay. I love you guys. She goes, I told my kids I needed time to myself after they go to bed and they said, do you hate us? It's free. It's freeing to not want to watch the news. The news is just Satan. That is drifting. Kelly says, same Jess, I get shamed for being uninformed because I don't watch the news. It's fine. Like if whatever is going to happen is going to happen. We're not going to change it. I hate to be like that, but oh my God, Jen, stop it. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Literally, I hear it in my sleep. Some of you guys don't know what we're talking about, but this is all TikTok little voiceovers and they like get stuck in your head and it's bad. Okay. The last thing, but not the least thing, is stop quitting 3 feet from gold. Stop quitting 3 feet from gold. Stop. So many of you guys give up right before the miracle happens. And listen, when you are trying to achieve something that's big, something that is aspirational, it's not going to be easy, bitch. If it was easy, everybody would be driving around in their fucking Maseratis with their friggin', with The Rock, married to Dwayne The Rock Johnson, with the perfect tits and the perfect ass and perfect health and the perfect home, and everything would be perfect. It's not the way it works. What's the old adage? When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. It's usually right as you quit, like right when you're like, I can't do this anymore. Fuck it. I'm done. That's literally a test. It's God testing you. It's God testing you. I always say the cockpit of the fighter jet always shakes and rattles the most right before it breaks the sound barrier. But what happens when you break the sound barrier? It's smooth sailing. Every time that I start to like lose my shit and I start to feel totally defeated, I know that it's enemy energy. I know that Satan is like, I got to take this bitch out because she's going to wake way too many people up. She's going to teach way too many women that they deserve to live these ambitious lives. And every time you got to just white knuckle it and you got to hold on until you get over that hump. So stop quitting 3 feet from gold. Maria says, number 10, that's huge for me. I need to get off my ass and to do my permanent makeup now. Dude, I will send you so many people for permanent makeup. I have so many people that are always like, who do you go to for your this? Who do you go? I'm like, I don't even know, because COVID, I have no idea who's even doing anything anymore, right? I'm so removed. Girl, you have a million women right here that will pay for your services. Do it. Stop procrastinating. Stop being afraid of success. Just do it. Just do it and do it and do it. Brittany says, I've done it so many times, not this time, right? And when you know that that's like what you do, because like we all have our shit, right? Some people always give up right when it gets just a little bit too tough. And when I say 3 Feet from Gold, it's actually it's a true story. There's actually a book called 3 Feet from Gold. I'm sure you can get it like pretty much anywhere, but the story in a nutshell is there was once this man who owned a farm, and he was just digging one day, and he hit this huge vein of gold on his land. And he was like killing it, right? And he was like, gold, 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 making all this money. And then one day they were getting all the gold out of this vein. And one day the vein just ran out. Like there was just no more gold. And he was like, fuck, where did the gold go? And you know what he did? He just gave up. And this guy that was like, lived down the street from him, who was also a farmer, bought all his equipment and everything for like pennies on the dollar. And he hired someone who specializes in like the tectonics of the earth. And the guy was a professional, and he fucking found the vein of gold. It was 3 feet away from the other vein. All this guy had to do was dig 3 feet over, and this whole vein of gold, it just stopped for a second and it moved. And so this other guy ended up being like, by what is the standards of money now, because this was in the 1920s, he was like a multi-billionaire. Because this other dude, he quit 3 feet from gold. You have to stop doing this. You have to stop doing this. It's keeping you small. It's keeping you from your birthright, which is to be healthy and wealthy and happy and joyful and have everything that I talk about in Ambitchious, everything that I talk about. So number 10 is stop quitting 3 feet from gold. You know, instead of saying, why me, say, try me. Because I know for a fact that when shit gets rough, you're right about to make the jump. You're right about to level up. You're right about to make that quantum leap. Okay. So in the book, Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation. Okay. Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation, I actually put it in the manifesting money part, but your Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation, so it's actually in chapter 7, Are You a Rich Bitch? It's on page 93. So the first step in attracting your loftiest goals and dreams is to know your exact purpose here on earth. Remember, we talked about that last week? At least in this physical manifestation, that means knowing why you're here and where you're going. What is the primary goal of your existence, and what will you give the universe in return for the money, right? The wealth, the abundance that you'll receive. Good night, Jess. Love you. You can start by writing your Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation. So this statement that you will read aloud every day and night without fail, even if you drink 6 Cosmos at the club and forget to take off your makeup, you're going to read this out loud. This is a non-negotiable. You can't make it happen if you don't put energy into it. Okay. Like I said, you can do this for anything. You can do this for money. You can do this for whatever you desire. But I wrote it in the book to attain monetary wealth. Okay. So number 1, when you're writing your Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation, you have to command your subconscious mind to align itself with a precise energetic vibrational frequency that mirrors the exact goals, desires, and aspirations that you will affirm. Remember, give it an order. Remember, I said demand it. So tell it what's up. So when you first start your Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation, right, you say out loud, I now command my subconscious mind to align itself with a precise energetic vibrational frequency that mirrors the exact goals, desires, and aspirations that I am about to affirm. So that's the first part of your Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation. The second part is to state the exact date and time for your items to be achieved or attained, etc. Don't be shy, ask with ambition. Because what happens is you create these goals and then you never put a timeline on it. And you're like, it's like saying, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Well, when the fuck do you want that? When you're 93 and you're shitting and pissing in a diaper and you're gumming your vegetables in the nursing home? Like, no, bitch, no, no, right? Good night, Kim. Love you. So the next thing is state the exact date and time. So you could say, by January 1st, 2023, I will have in my possession, fill in the blank, $1 million liquid cash. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there. So then you say what you will give in return, because the universal law is whatever you give, you have to get. Whatever you get, you have to give. So you can't take from the universe and not give something back. So what you give in return is doing whatever your purpose is, right? So if we're talking about business, if your purpose is like, I coach women in whatever, or I'm a nurse, or I'm a doctor, or I'm I do permanent makeup, right? So you might say, this money will come to me through the exceptional service of helping women feel beautiful in their skin by applying this permanent makeup to their face, right? Because I'm using Maria as an example because we had this conversation earlier in this talk, but she is not a permanent makeup artist. She helps women with their self-esteem, their self-confidence, and to help them feel beautiful on the outside, right? That's truly what her purpose is. So she could say, this money will come to me through exceptional service of helping women feel beautiful in their skin by the art of a permanent makeup application, okay? Just using her as an example. Then the next thing that you'll say, step 4, is state what you will provide in the service of the service that provide in terms of the services rendered. So the outstanding services that I will provide for this money are included, but not limited to. So like for me, the services I render are Ambitchious Academy, one-on-one mentorship programs, full day immersions, spiritual and motivational events, speaking engagements. That's what I give in return for the money, the goals, the whatever I'm hoping to attain, right? Or I'm not hoping, that I am attaining, right? And then affirm the focus by saying to yourself in the feeling words as truth. So you say, my faith and my focus are so strong that there are no other alternatives. I can see, feel, and experience this money now. It's my birthright. It is now awaiting transfer to me, and so it is, or so it shall be. And then, remember we talked about visualization last week. Then you have to visualize your attainment of that thing. So, in the book, I always talk about having Oprah introduce me at a speaking engagement, but it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be you opening your own practice and having your own permanent makeup practice. It could be you having your own veterinary clinic. It could be you, traveling the world. I don't know, doing whatever. But that's how you write your statement. And then once you write your statement, you say it first thing in the morning and you say it right before you go to bed at night. And that is the number one out of the top 10 ways to achieve the goals that you desire. Okay. This is an equation. This is a science. This is universal law. This is energy. This is not me trying to make you guys do busy work. This is real shit. And anyone that has ever done their Ambitchious about his affirmation can attest that this is real and it works. Okay, cool. So for next week's call, I want you guys to have all of your things cut out. I want you to have all of your pictures, all of your quotes, all that good stuff. Okay. I want you to get up. So if you're going to do like an old school vision board, I want you to get your poster board. I want you to get your glue stick. I want you to get your scissors. I want you to get your clippings. any kind of decorations, markers, crayons, whatever you're going to use to zhuzh it up. And what we're going to do is next week, we're going to arrange the board into the 6 life makers and breakers. And we're going to talk about what you're putting on your board so that I can kind of like guide you through it, because I want you to really understand that like when you do this work, you have to be so fucking specific, because if you're not, it's just going to be so much more difficult to manifest what you desire and your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up tonight? I know that I talked your ears off, but as you guys know, my purpose here on earth is to give such value and to give such service to each and every one of you, and to show up and to empower you and to educate you and to also entertain you. Because when you're entertained, when you're learning, you just learn so much more. Any info on gatherings in January? Not yet, because I am having some issues with my DJs, because I have a couple of DJs that I use and I'm trying to figure out logistics. But as soon as I figure that out, you will be the first guys to know, I promise you. But there are smaller events that I already have taken care of. So the events so far for January are going to be awesome. So the first event is going to be both. So on the app, we have a new moon 2-hour event on Sunday, January 2nd. So remember, on Sunday, January 2nd is the new moon. The new moon is the time that you set your intentions for the upcoming 28 days. So it's a really amazing day to create and manifest. So that's going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you can't make it in person, we're going to be doing it also virtually. Okay. So that's number one. And then the second one is going to be on Monday, January 17th. And that's going to be the full moon event. And then remember, the full moon is always good for getting rid of what no longer serves your highest, greatest good. And book club is going to be starting in January as well. It's going to be starting in January as well. It's a great question, Kate. Thanks for asking that. I will have dates for you as well, which is going to be awesome. Lori says, is it open to all on the app or only the Academy? So you're talking about the event, Lori? Is that what you're talking about? I'm just wondering. And then next week, I have some really amazing, exciting news for all of you guys at the end of our call. Ambitchious Academy is going to be launching next week, and everybody here is going to get a huge discount on Ambitchious Academy. And I'm going to go through all of that next week. But Ambitchious Academy is going to be literally the next level. So if you're really looking forward to like doing more coaching stuff, Ambitchious Academy is like what we did today, but on steroids. And the amount of people that are coming that are experts in their field that are going to also be educating you guys and showing up, it's just like fucking incredible. So I don't know if Lori, if you're still here. I just asked, is it open to all on the app or only the Academy? And I was just wondering if you were asking about the event. So the events are open to everybody, if that's what you're asking. You don't have to be part of Ambitchious Academy to come to the events or any of that kind of stuff. So that's not a worry. Does anybody else have any questions before I go? I know I went over tonight, but whatever, here we are. In the meantime, put your heads down and focus. If you missed any of this for any reason, go back and watch it again. We'll share it over on the app. And please feel free to invite anybody that you think that this would resonate with over to the app. They can always watch the first 2 replays and then just join us on the last vision board call if they want. But this was awesome. And thank you guys for taking time out of all of your busy days to come and do this. Like, this is really important work that everybody's doing here. And I'm just looking so forward into watching each and every one of you guys attain your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. and I'm ready to be part of that with you guys. This was awesome. And thank you guys all. And thank you for being just so open and so loving and so kind. And I will see y'all tomorrow on the app. Love you guys. Mwah. Nighty night.